Inhale, exhale evenly. Bring the tongue down away from the roof of the mouth. Relax the rest of the face. And then take a slightly deeper inhalation than before. And let's chant. Inhale once more. As you bring your head down, just go back to that feeling of embracing everything and everyone. And bow your head to your heart. Drop the palms down on the thighs and gently lift the head and open your eyes. Okay. Let's begin in Adho Mukha Vrasana. So extend the legs in front of you. You can have a little bit of support for your shins and knees if you want. And likewise, if you cannot reach the buttocks and heels together, take something. Now we are going to have the hands on the floor to begin with. And then we will cup the fingers to then walk to one way and walk to the other side. So it's going to be the classical version of Adho Mukha Vrasana facing the front, and then we'll walk to one side and walk to the other to stretch the sides of the body. I'll do it facing the front so you can see what this is about. Big toes together, knees apart. Flatten the toenails on the floor. Have the knees as wide as your chest so that you can slot your body between the legs. And then from here, anchor the outer hips to the ground or to the support you're sitting on. Feel that extension. So from the hips up, you are lengthening and feeling light. And from the knees and hips down, you are actually grounding yourselves to the yoga mat or the floor. Start walking your hands very gently away from your body, but keep the extension and the lightness. The chest is lifted, the chest is broad, and carry on extending the arms. Extend the arms forward, lengthening the sides of the neck, lengthening the crown of the head, and keep the fingers cupped. So that means that the palms are still not touching the ground. You've got extension from the center of your hips all the way along the sides of the body, along the arms to the fingertips. And then from the thumb side of the arm, draw back towards your body so the shoulders can release away from the neck. So the outer edge of the arms are extending, the inner edge of the arms are drawing back. Try not to tense the head. The head should not be trying to go down to the floor or pushing too far forward. The neck is simply a continuation of the rest of the spine. Sit the sitting bones strongly down and push with the shins and front ankles. Now look up and carry on that extension of the arms, but also add the extension of your chest without letting go of the buttocks. Walk your hands to the right side of your body. So aligning the breastbone to the right knee. Make sure that you are really turning your body. So move the flesh if you need to. Move the flesh in the belly, move the flesh in the chest. just to align the center of the collarbone, the center of the breastbone, sorry, with the right knee. Extend the left arm so much more, so that you so much that you are even trying to bring the left shoulder lower. Now address the left buttock bone and take it down. The stretch should be glowing now. The skin should feel like it's really nicely stretching. Keep extending the head in line with the spine. And now walk over to the front and then to the left. So first of all, address the torso, the belly, the dorsal spine, etc. And then carry on stretching your arms. The right side of your body is stretching more strongly now. Take the right outer hip and buttock strongly down, and then carry on pulling from the outer hip all the way to the little fingers. Come back to the center. Still with your fingers cupped. Lift up the chest, lift up the head, and walk back towards your knees. Right. Now, you can keep that blanket flat, almost on the flattest level. If anyone is menstruating, you will have the two legs hip-width distance apart, a belt and a brick or something to put your head on, and you will come onto this Paschimottanasana action. First, of course, going through the concave back, and then last of all, resting your head. If you're not menstruating, you will do boat pose with me. So Paripuna Navasana. First of all, we'll spend a little time. You can still have a belt if you feel that you may need it, and especially if you feel that you're not going to be able to straighten the legs fully. So the blanket is there only if you have a very bony tailbone. You can also replace the blanket for the folded mat. We will spend a little bit of time extending the torso. So it's all about lightness in the torso and chest and extension of the legs. So roll the thighs towards one another and extend from the center of your buttock bones to the center of the heels. The legs are straight and they're going to remain straight. So we're going for classical version of Paripuna Navasana. If you need a belt, put the belt around the arches now. Otherwise, be in Dandasana with this torso really straight. Lengthen the neck, lengthen the size of the body, but keep the opening in the chest. You really need to feel that kind of firework energy from the pubic bone and from the sacrum, lifting you up and then bursting up in the chest area. So lean back and lift your arms a little. Lean back and lift your arms a little. When you lean back, lift the chest, open the chest, and now take a deep inhalation breath, and as you exhale, lift your legs up. Lift your legs, but keep the chest lifted. 1, 2, 3, and then descend and come back to Dandasana. Let's do it once more just for fun because it's New Year's Eve. Lift your arms, lift the chest, broaden across the collarbones and lift the legs. So lean backwards, but lift, balance between the sitting bones and the tailbone. And then release. Release forwards, not backwards. Okay, one more time. If you are feeling that that's too much, have the belt. Let's do it from bent legs. Take your hands behind your thighs or carry on using the belt. Walk your hands closer to your toes. Lift the chest. Feel that broadness. Now the legs are super close to my body and I can really lift the chest now. Take your body back and hover the heels of the ground. Lift the shins parallel to the floor. Go back to lifting the chest. And now as you start stretching your legs fully, lift the chest more. Stretch your legs, lift the chest. Now release your arms. Let's count to 3, 2, 1, and release in Dandasana once more. Okay, now we will have the bricks today. So it's all about opening the chest and being light in your chest. So the first action we're going to do is place the brick right across your mat and have the brick so that it is across the brass strap area. Go down onto your elbows and place the brick in the correct position first. You will have the legs crossed and then we'll hold the head. After a moment, I'll start lengthening my torso down all the way until the head can touch the ground. If your head doesn't touch the ground, the level is on the brick is on the second level. If the head doesn't touch the ground, you can place a second brick on the flattest level underneath your nape, and there you can release the head. Ideally, you will have the crown of the head on the ground. Then we will bring the legs, the knees together and try and do Paripuna Navasana in this way. So it's a huge punch in the back to open the chest. And then we'll try to bring the hands like we had them before. And then we'll lift one leg, extending the heels, and lift the other leg, extending the heel. If you're menstruating, you just don't lift your legs and keep them crossed and take, as we repeat, change the crossing of your legs. Okay, let's try this. So, bring the brick to the center of the mat, across it on the second level. So the widest bit will be across your back. Come onto your elbows with your legs still crossed. Place the brick right underneath your shoulder blades. Underneath your shoulder blades, brass strap area. Now, once the brick is safe and secure there, release your hands from the brick and bring them to the back of your head. And then start releasing the head slowly down and down and down and down and down, down. What you want is to have a huge arch in the dorsal spine. The tailbone is still going towards the heels and the head is touching the floor. If the head is not touching the floor, for whatever reason, lift the head again with one hand, place the brick, and then release the head onto the brick. Once the head is done, just bring the two knees up together. Two knees up together to face the ceiling. Bring the 2 feet a little closer to your buttocks if you can. Extend the shoulders away from your neck. So you want the shoulder blades to go and rub against the brick. Now lift your arms, but keep that openness. Keep the light coming. Keep the lightness coming. And then try and see if you can extend one leg. Heel first. Extend one leg and roll the thigh in. Then extend the other leg. Roll the thighs in, maintain the legs together and extend them to the ceiling. Now lower the shoulders and pull your arms away from your body. Try and touch the ceiling with your heels and with your fingertips. And the head is relaxed, the neck is relaxed. Bend your legs, bring them down, bring your arms down. I'm going to just stand up to come and watch. We'll repeat. So those of you who were crossing legs only, just cross the legs the other way. And then if you're coming back to repeat the asana, extend the arms, make sure the brick is safe, extend the arms up. Now bring the two knees together. Lift the other leg up, lift the left leg up, extend the heel way, roll the thighs in, lift the other leg, extend the heels. The legs are extending. We are doing some kind of boat pose the other way around. Can you lift the legs a little higher? And then extend to come back down. Right. Now to come out of it, first of all, take your hands to the head and then bring your head to touch your chin. Your chin touching your collarbones. Once the head is safe there, bring the two hands to either side of your hips, press them down and lift from the chest. Lift from the chest. Stay sitting there for a moment, then turn yourselves around and let's do a downward dog. So it's exactly the same shape of the body, yeah? Downward facing dog, V shape with the body. If you need a little bit of height for your hands because your hamstrings are feeling a little tense, come with bricks for the hands. Otherwise, be in all fours, tuck your toes under, hands as wide as your shoulders, and lift the knees, lift the buttocks, extend your body. Extend your body, extend your arms, extend your legs. The first few times you can bend the knees and stretch, both of them together. And after a third or fourth time, stay in downward facing dog. Revolve the upper arms from the inside out. Remember when we had the brick a moment ago across the back and we were trying to open even more. So try to emulate that feeling now. If you had a brick across the back, how much would you have to move the chest towards your legs? If you are feeling exhausted, you can come down to all fours. Otherwise, stay there for 1 more minute and take your two legs together. Take your two inner ankles together to give it a little extra stretch. Lift from the outer hips up to the sky. Lift from the inner ankles up to the pelvic floor and extend the arms. Take your chest closer to the thighs. Relax your head, relax your neck. Okay, walk your legs to your hands. Stay in Uttanasana. Inhale and come back up. Right. We are all going to be doing, you can come back up, yeah? We're all going to be doing a couple of standing poses. So I would suggest having the two bricks handy so that we can start in this either jumping or stepping action for the asanas. The first one we're going to do is almost like Parangustasana. So, not Parangustasana, sorry, Parangustasana. So I would like for all of us to come back into Uttanasana and then jump or step into downward dog. When we jump forwards, I would like for us to jump or step as close to those bricks as possible. And then we will take one foot onto the brick. So the foot is, the ball of the foot is onto that brick. The other ball of the foot is onto the brick, and then we stretch the body. It's almost like Parangustasana or Baddha all mixed up together. This is the position we're going to take if we're not jumping. If we are jumping, however, we will come in and out of downward dog a couple of times, Uttanasana to downward dog, and then we'll do Fulutanasana where the hands and bricks are coming closer to the feet. So choose one of the ends of your yoga mat, put the 2 bricks there. We will do the whole thing with hands on bricks. This is just to release the hamstrings and any kind of hidden tension in the arms as well. So inhale from Tadasana with the 2 feet together. Lift your arms up above your head. Urdhva Hastasana. And then as you exhale, come down, hands on bricks. So everybody will be able to have a concave back. If you cannot reach the bricks on the flattest level, stand them up. Look up. Open across the collarbones. Make sure that your buttocks are absolutely aligned with the heels. Don't allow them to go back. Now from here, if you are menstruating or have bad backs or bad knees, step into downward dog, still with your legs together. And otherwise, we will kick backwards with a big leap. So leap back into Adho Mukha Svanasana. Still hands on bricks. Land hopefully with the 2 feet together. If you haven't, join them now. Lengthen the arms. Now we're briefly going to stay here. Bend the legs again. Come onto the heels and either step with your leg, the left leg first, or jump closer to the brick. If you are not jumping, or if you are, if you're menstruating or not jumping, now put your foot on top of the brick. If you are still jumping, carry on doing the jumpings forwards and back 2 more times. So bend the knees and leap back. Try to do it in slow motion. Try to lift as high as you can. Bend the knees, feet together, jump forwards. The rest of us are stretching the back of the legs. Bend the knees, jump back. Bend the knees, jump forward. 1 more time, jump back. And then jump forwards. Now we are all going to bring the feet down away from the bricks if you have them on them. And take your hands to either side of the feet. So you bring in the bricks next to the feet. Hands are pressing strongly down. Look up, look up. Disconnected the microphone. Look up and broaden the collarbones. Open the chest. Lift the knees and thighs. Now, those of us coming to Fulutanasana, release the body. Hold on to your ankles. Open your elbows and pull with your hands to come closer to your legs. Pull up the knees, pull up the thighs. Shoulders away from your neck. Inhale, look up, grip your hips and come back up. Great. So, if you are not going to come into an arch of the back because either you're menstruating, you have a bad back, you will come to a quadruped position and do the action where we have the 2 feet flat, the 2 shins flat, and then you're pushing the pubic bone and the buttocks forwards, lifting your head, lifting your chest. This is just forwards and backwards, forwards and backwards. That's the action you're going to take if you're not going to go into Urdhva Mukha Svanasana. The rest of us are going to start again from all fours, same as our friends. We'll come from downward dog with the hands on the bricks, and from downward dog, we are going to dive forward. So bend the elbows, dive forwards, and then lift the elbows, lift the chest, lift the head, but keep the shoulders going down. And then we will see if we can come to Chaturanga Dandasana, put your knees down, and come up to all fours. Let's see, if you cannot come from Chaturanga Dandasana up, it's fine. Just collapse and then meet us in downward dog. Okay? So, let us all start in a quadruped position. If you are going to do the pushing forwards to your sacrum and the tailbone, just start doing it right now. Otherwise, tuck your toes under, look your elbows, come up into downward dog. Look up at your hands, bend the elbows, lift the heels, bend the elbows a little inwards. Now dive forwards and then lift the elbows, lift the chest, open the collarbones, extend the thighs and the legs. And now go down to Chaturanga Dandasana. The hands are still on bricks. Put the knees down and lift yourselves up into a quadruped to start all over again. If this is too much for those of you recovering, just go into that swinging action of quadruped again, yeah? So let's repeat this one. Lift into Adho hands pressing down, shoulders coming away from your chest. And then bend the elbows, look up at your hands, lift the heels, dive in and up, stretch your elbows, stretch your legs, open across the collarbones, push your pubic bone a little bit further forwards this time. If you can, look up. Then bend the elbows again, go into Chaturanga Dandasana. The whole body is a whole straight line. Bend your knees, come back up into a quadruped position. And now rest in child's pose. So bring your toes together, knees apart, and extend, still with your hands on the bricks. Extend the arms, extend the arms. Head is resting. If you don't reach the floor, put something underneath the head. Take your chest to that spot between your knees. Sit your sitting bones. Observe your body. Come back up. All right. So, for those of us who are going to do inverted poses, let's do Shishasana now. This Shishasana, I would like for you to do it so that you can twist a little, coming into the pose. Even if you're using the wall, twist your body and then take one leg forwards, one leg back. The front leg is going forwards. The back leg is going back. This is if you're working with the wall. Okay? First, turn your hips, keep the two elbows pressing the floor, and then you can, of course, if you're working with the wall, you can slide the back leg absolutely along that wall. Can you see? You can use the back leg as support along the wall, and then come back to center. If you're just beginning to practice Shishasana and you want to stay in classical version of Shishasana, stay in classical version of Shishasana. If you are not going upside down, for whatever reason, take again the two bricks and we're going to repeat that asana we did a moment ago. And instead of having the brick across the mat, we're going to have it standing up. So the 2 bricks are standing. Maybe the second one can go a little lower. We will take the legs to Baddha Konasana. So 2 hips, 2 knees together, 2 knees apart and 2 feet together. And then find the brick with your hands. Hold the brick. I'm doing it with one hand so you can see where the brick is going. To the center of the spine. Once the brick is safe there, catch your head, let the head go. And you can, of course, use the second brick or release the, oops, I've just dropped the brick anyway. Extend your arms. This is the action for those of us not going upside down into Shishasana. Baddha Konasana legs, 2 bricks standing up on height. Make sure that the second brick is handy. You're holding your head to go back. Those of you going upside down, go upside down as and when you're ready. Well done. Ruth, I think you need to turn the legs the other way. Come back up with the 2 legs together. Okay, now turn towards your right and bring the right leg, the back leg, the leg that's closer to the sofa back. Yes, that's it. That's exactly it. And keep twisting, keep twisting, keep twisting, keep twisting. That's great, Anne. Bring the leg that's down, bring it to the other side. Bring it to the other side. Towards the Christmas tree. That's it. Well done, Terry. And Hillary, that's nice. Lift the hips. Lift the sitting bones. Ruth, you can do Barakanasana and stay in Supta Barakanasana if you need. Ruth R. Kate, could you possibly reach the tips of the mat and pull from the tips of the mat with your hands? Okay. Those of you who have been there for a little while. And John's Karen, can you bring your arms up above your head? Up above your head and try to touch the sofa with your fingertips. All, yes, that's it. Lengthen, 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 lengthen. Those of you who are doing Shishasana at the moment, grip your inner legs, lift the buttock bones up, and then with an exhalation breath, try to come down halfway only. So the legs are at a right angle, almost as if we were doing boat pose again. Legs at a right angle. And then descend. Both legs together with control. Well done. Those of us who are on the floor, first of all, bring your hands to your head. Lift your head so that you can tuck your chin into your collarbones. And once the head is up, again, bring your hands to the hips, close the legs, and ascend your body. That's it. Those of you who have been doing Shishasana, release your head and neck. Karen, did you get that instruction of lifting your head with your hands first? John's Karen, yes. Lift your head and then bring your hands to the size of the hips. Lift your legs up and then sit up, sit up, sit up, sit up, sit up. That's it. If you have recovered from Shishasana, stay in the center of the mat and we will do We will come into shoulder stand now. Because we have the time, we will stay opening the chest. So if you are not doing shoulder stand, take either 4 foam pads or a bolster, and let's do Setu Bandha. Setu Bandha with a nice bit of support for the feet. This is for those of us who are not going into shoulder stand. If you know that you are going to shoulder stand, take your equipment and start preparing it. In the meantime, I'll show those friends who are not going upside down. Have a little belt for the thighs, so the thighs are not going anywhere. And then you will have the head on the ground, shoulders on the ground, neck on the ground, and then because you have the thighs tied, the legs are not going to split open. And also because you've got the extra support for your feet, you can put your feet up on bricks and rest with the heels and the hips at the same level. Then you will bend the legs and slide off the support to come out. The rest of us, if you are feeling like going upside down into shoulder stand, let us take Savangasana, and I'll give you a couple of variations after we are up there. So, asana, when you're, oh, Val is there already, by the way. Val is gaining extra points. Take your thighs back, Val. Thighs move back and buttocks move forwards. That's it. That's it. Vertical, exactly. If you need a belt for your elbows, take a belt. Sustocks, I would suggest going from the sofa down. Do you know what I mean? Sit on the sofa backwards, reversed, facing the backrest of the sofa, and lengthen first your head, then your shoulders. So you go down and your buttocks and legs are still on the sofa. Rules, that's nice. The rules are, take your hands a little bit lower than the shoulder level. So at least shoulder level or a little lower. That's it. That's it. Now, could you possibly move, slide to your window so the shoulders are actually touching the ground? Slide yourself a little bit off towards your window. Now you've gone too far, sorry. It has to go right where the brick was a moment ago. There. And now can you stretch your legs? That's great. Diane, could you possibly bring your elbows a bit closer together? And Sue G, could, yes. You're adjusting even before I said. Great. Pull up your legs, inner legs, inner knees, inner ankles. Everything is trying to touch the sky. John, bring your legs together. Walk your hands a little lower every minute to bring the chest to a more lifted position. Make sure that you're not choking, so lift the chin a little bit. Now, those of us who are balancing, bend your legs into Baddha Konasana. Feet together, open the knees out to the sides. You can see your heels, so align the heels with your crotch and roll the thighs out. The knees need to go open. Lift the buttocks, lift the chest. Try and bring the hands lower down. Now stretch your legs again. And then turn the feet out as in a 10 past 10 position. Open the legs, straight open legs. Hopefully you will not crash if you are doing partner yoga. Or crush the computer. Your foot is so close to the computer, Diane. Bring the legs together again. Lift the chest again. Bring yourselves to Halasana. If you cannot take Halasana, bend your knees and bring the knees closer to your chest. Otherwise, stretch your legs and come with your feet down over your head. Bend your knees, everybody. Support your back. Make sure you have taken off the belt if you were using a belt. And then bring yourselves back down really gently. Ruth, there's a cat right behind you. If you're landing, you may be landing on the cat. Wiggle yourselves away towards the head side until you have recovered. If you were in Setu Bandha, you can bend your knees, slide towards your head side and roll over onto the right side. She was refusing to move, that cat. Okay. If you have the equipment, which we all have, set your equipment so that you can open the legs wide. Everybody can join in this one. Open the legs wide. We're going to do a very nice gentle twist in Upavista Konasana, and then you can have either bolster or the pile of foam pads that you were using for shoulder stand, a brick, or nothing at all if you can reach the floor. So ideally, you will have something to support your head. If you don't have anything, stretch to a chair and that's fine. But first, let's do a little twist. So we have the legs wide open, extend them so that you can really flatten those thighs. If you need a little support for your buttocks because you feel that your sacrum is rolling back, have a blanket or a foam pad or something underneath your buttocks as well. Now you can clearly see the shadow of my leggings against the mat where I'm not stretching the legs. If I am not, there's a shadow, a huge cave there underneath the knees. So instead, lengthen the legs and flatten the legs. Push the center of the thighs. Push the calf muscles, the Achilles tendons on the floor, and then lengthen the legs. One more time, create that feeling of lightness and light. Open up to receive. Then inhale and lift your left arm up. Concave your back, yeah? Turn towards the right, swing your right hand behind your buttocks, and then see if you can catch the right thigh with your left hand. Can you pull from that hand to turn some more? Now we are turning not from the hip, we're turning from the waist, from the dorsals. So make a little extra effort to stretch the inner left groin away from you so that leg is not dull. Twist, but don't lose the focus on the legs. Twist the chest, lift the collarbones up, and also push the shoulder blades in. Inhale, come back to center. Lift the left arm up. Sorry, right arm up. Right arm up. Lift and stretch the right side of the body. Now, with an exhalation breath, turn to the left, swing the left hand behind you, and take your right hand to the left thigh. Lift up. Sit the two sitting bones evenly. Press the center of the thighs, the legs, the Achilles, everything onto the mat, and then lift the chest. Twist and lift. Back shoulder needs to go back. Front shoulder needs to come forward. Inhale, come back to center, and then lift evenly both sides of the body, but anchor yourselves to the sitting bones, top of the thighs and ankles. Now it's when we need whatever prop you will use for the front. It's important that we continue gripping the outer hips and that we continue anchoring the back of the buttocks, the back of the thighs down on the floor. So start walking forwards with your hands and an open chest, and make sure that you have enough support. So either bricks, blocks, bolster, pile them up. You will notice how then you may not need as much height because we're going to stay here for a little while. So carry on pushing forwards, first with a concave back and then release your head. Once you are sure that your props are enough, release your head, release your necks. Now, address the legs first. Go back to that feeling of extending from the inner groins to the inner knees to inner ankles to inner arches. Big toe mounds pushing away from one another. Little toe edge side of the feet coming closer to the outer hip. Extend the legs. Grip the outer hips. Buttocks down to the floor. The back is arching now. We're not concaving it. Let the back release. Open across the shoulder blades. With each exhalation breath, see that you can release a little more. Maybe you can move the bolster a little further away from you. Maybe you can move the props further away from you. Maybe you can take it lower. Chris's Karen, take your hands around the bolster and hug it like this. So you can fold it, bend it, yeah? Yeah. Relax your shoulders, relax your neck. Now come back up to center, look up, come back up to center, and we're going to do the same but with the legs bent. So if you had too many props, move them a moment, and holding the inside of the knee, come into Barakanasana. Bring the feet close to you, and then you can, if the knees don't bend too much, you can put the props inside the heels. If you can have the feet closer and closer to your buttocks, you will need the props away from your feet. You can do bolster, blocks, bricks, whatever version of this you're doing is fine. So move the body forwards first, anchor your buttocks, anchor the outer edges of your feet, anchor the heels together, and then carry on going forwards until you can release your head onto something. You want to release the head onto something, so put some extra support if your hips are tighter. Press the balls of the feet together. Press the heels together. Maybe even grab a chair and put a blanket on top if you are struggling too much. Release the neck. Release the shoulders. So shoulders rolling back towards to the buttocks. Release the hips. Inner groin to inner knee. Outer knee to outer hip. Feel that circular action. Stay there for 2 more seconds and then inhale and come back up. Remove the props to the side and take your hands to the outer thighs. Bring your knees up and then sit up. We are going to start getting ready for our Shavasana. This Shavasana will be what we are going to hear are 4 7-minute journeys, each with a different texture. And the first section is all Russian bells. They are similar to gongs, but they have a really long sustain. Section 2 is monochords and a healing bed with some flute over the third section. Then we have a deep gong and shaman drum with bawu. And to finish off, we've got kalimbas and African flutes to bring ourselves back into our bodies. So let us enjoy. Remember that the first bit is for you to settle, so it's going to be more or less like a minute sound of gong only or a bell only. Enjoy. You can start bringing your hands back to your chest and your legs up one at a time to bring yourselves out of this dreamy state. Roll on to the right hand side. And as and when you're ready, come up to a sitting position, bringing the head up last. If you want to stay in this position, of course, you're welcome to. Bring your hands to your chest and thank your bodies and minds and ears this day, we should say, for being able to, and healthy enough to allow us to do this session today. And thank the teachers before us who showed us how to do it safely. And thank you, Paul, for this amazing concert. Have an amazing start of the year. There's not much I'm going to say because we all know what we think about 2020 and what all the expectations we have for 2021. So start from scratch and just a toast to health, I suppose, and to movement, because this is what has joined us and what keeps joining us. So